Hello, Morris. Miss Baig here, and welcome to your comprehension session for this week. Today is Friday, the 15th of January 2021. Our learning objective for this lesson is, can I answer questions about a text by reading and listening to it? So when we do comprehension, the main skill that we will be focusing on is listening, okay? And you need to be reading the key information within the questions. So last week we started answering questions about the moon, about the book Man on the Moon. We left Bob tidying up the moon. Let's find out what happens next. So get ready, strap in, off we go. Okay, so at the top is a piece of text. I'm going to read it to you, and underneath there are a few questions, okay? So different questions have different colored boxes. So we're going to do the first one together. For this lesson, you do not need to write anything. If you wish to write the answer down, then you can, but we're talking through the answers. So you're not recording anything on Tapestry and you're not uploading anything because we're going through the answers together. Okay, let's begin. By 12:30, it's time to eat. Bob goes to his rocket ship to fetch his lunchbox. This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter, an apple, and some chocolate-covered nuts. So let's read the first question. What time does Bob have lunch? Let me get my highlighter ready. While you're thinking about that answer, let me get my highlighter. What time does Bob have lunch? Let's read the first line. By 12:30, it's time to eat. Shall we reveal the answer? Well done. Great job. It is 12:30. Next question. Which of these does Bob not have for lunch? So we are looking for an answer that Bob does not eat for lunch, okay? Let me read the next part of the text. Bob goes to his rocket ship to fetch his lunchbox. This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter, an apple, and some chocolate-covered nuts. Now, which of these does Bob not have for lunch? Now, we've got A, B, C, and D here. So we've got 4 options. Now, we need to choose the options that Bob does not have for lunch. So let's go through it. Does Bob have a cheese sandwich for lunch? A cheese sandwich. Let's have a look. This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter. So yes, he does have a cheese sandwich for lunch. What about a peanut butter sandwich? This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter. So yes, he does have a peanut butter sandwich. He alternates. Okay, next, an apple and some chocolate-covered nuts. So I can see that it says nuts here. So that's chocolate-covered nuts. Does it say banana anywhere in the text? Have a think. Does it say banana anywhere? Let me read it back one more time, and you tell me if you can hear the word banana. Listen carefully. By 12:30, it's time to eat. Bob goes to his rocket ship to fetch his lunchbox. This usually contains 2 sandwiches, either cheese or peanut butter, an apple, and some chocolate-covered nuts. Did you hear banana in there? No. What piece of fruit does Bob have for his lunch? Well done. He has an apple. So banana is the one that is one of the options that Bob does not have for lunch. Well done, Morris. Okay, I'm going to read the next piece of text. Sometimes he meets his friends for a picnic. His 2 best friends are Billy, who is the man on Mars, and Sam, the man on Saturn. They talk about the stars and tell jokes. So the question is, what word tells you that Bob does not meet his friends every day? So what word tells you that Bob does not meet his friends every day? Let's read the text. Let's read the first sentence of the text. Sometimes he meets his friends for a picnic. Have a think. What word tells us that he doesn't meet his friends every day? Have a think. The answer is sometimes. So sometimes means when something is not consistent, it's not regular. It only happens here and there. So sometimes, or here and there, he meets his friends for a picnic. So that's our answer. Remember, all of the answers that the question is asking us for are in the text. That's why we need to do really super listening and super reading. Okay, what 2 things do the friends do when they meet up? So are we looking for one thing that the friends do? that Billy, Bob, and Sam do? No. Are we going to find 5 things that they do? No. Are we going to find 10 things that they do? No. We're going to find 2 things that they do because that's what the question is asking us. The question is asking us what 2 things do the friends do when they meet? Let's read the text and find out. His 2 best friends are Billy, the man on Mars, and Sam, the man on Saturn. They talk about the stars and tell jokes. Now, I have a really good feeling our answer is in this line over here. So, pause the video here, have a really good think, and when you come back, we'll reveal the answer. Okay, welcome back. Here is the answer. They talk about the stars and they tell jokes. Well done, Morris. Super listening, fantastic work. Okay, I'm going to now read the next piece of text. After lunch, tourist spaceships start arriving from Earth. So after lunch, tourist spaceships, so tourists sit in the spaceship from the Earth and travel up to the moon, start arriving from Earth. It is part of Bob's job to entertain them and give them something to photograph. Okay, now let's read the question. Where do the visitors come from? Where do the visitors come from? What is a visitor? What is a visitor? It's someone who visits a place. Now, what is a tourist? A tourist is also a visitor who visits a place. So tourist and visitor mean the same thing. So they are talking about where the tourists come from. Where do the tourists come from? Can you please pause the video here, have a think, and then we'll reveal the answer. Okay, let's have a look. Well done! After lunch, tourist spaceships start arriving from Earth. Well done. Okay, now let's read the next question. What mode of transport, so that means what method of transport how are they getting from one place to another? What mode of transport does the story say that the visitors use to get to the moon? So we know that the visitors are the tourists, and the tourist, we've highlighted it, is over here. So our answer should be in sentence number 1. Right, let's read the first sentence again. After lunch, tourist spaceships start arriving from Earth. Now, what mode of transport does the story say that the visitors used to get to the moon? So how are the tourists traveling from Earth to the moon? Are they on a donkey? Are they traveling by car? Are they traveling through a swimming pool? Okay, what is the answer? Let's reveal. 3, 2, 1, it's spaceships. Fantastic work, Morris class. You were getting really good at this. Okay, I'm going to read the next piece of text. So he does somersaults, handstands, and especially high moon jumps. Sometimes he performs for as long as 2 hours and is left quite out of puff. That means he's quite out of breath. He's a little bit tired. Okay. Question. Name 2 activities that Bob does to entertain the tourists. So we're not going to name 5 activities. We're not going to name 10. We're only naming 2 because that's what the question has asked us. We must answer the question. Name 2 activities that Bob does to entertain the tourists. So I'm going to read the text to you again. I think the answer might be in the first sentence, and then you're going to choose 2 activities. So he does. So he's doing something. So that's an activity because you do an activity or perform an activity. So he does somersaults, handstands, and especially high moon jumps. Choose 2 activities that Bob does to entertain the tourists. Off you go. Okay, what did you choose? Well, you could have chosen any 2 of the following: somersaults, handstands, and high moon jumps. Well done. Okay, next question. What phrase, which is a group of words, tells you that the activities make Bob tired? So what phrase, like a group of words, tells you that the activities make Bob tired? Let's read the second sentence. Sometimes he performs for as long as 2 hours and is left quite out of puff. So what group of words, what 4 or 5 words tells us that Bob is tired? That the activities that he does, so the activities is all of these somersaults, handstands and moon jumps. How do we know that he's out of puff? Sorry, Morris, I've given you the answer. He's left quite out of puff. Oh no. Well, never mind. It was on the tip of my tongue. Right, okay. So the answer is he is left quite out of puff. So left quite out of puff. 5 words. So it's a group of words that tells us the activities have made Bob tired. And out of puff is, you know, sometimes you're huffing and puffing when you've been for a really long run, or you've been playing tag with your friends and then you can't breathe. It's hard for you to breathe because your heart is pumping too fast. So that is the feeling of being left quite out of puff. Like this. Okay, moving on. Right. Find the word that means the same as sometimes. Okay, I'm going to read the text to you guys. Occasionally, the tourist spaceships will land on the moon. When they do, Bob gives them a guided tour and a speech. He tells them lots of facts, such as how many craters the moon has or how long it takes to walk around it on stilts. Now, the question, find the word that means the same as sometimes. Pause the video here and have a think. I'll give you a clue. It's in the first sentence. Did you get it? Let's have a look. It is dun, 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 occasionally. Occasionally. Well done. Occasionally means something, so it's sometimes. It's not regular and it's not consistent. Okay. Now, the very last question. I'm going to read the last bit of our text and then we'll answer these 2 questions here. Okay. Very, very well done, Morris class. You've been doing fantastic listening. Sometimes people ask him about aliens, and Bob explains patiently that there aren't any. Afterwards, Bob opens a small souvenir stand selling postcards, pencils, mugs, and small plastic moon medals. Okay, now let's read our first question. How do we know that Bob doesn't believe that aliens exist? So let's look at the first sentence. How do we know that Bob doesn't believe that aliens exist? How do you know? Where does it say in this top sentence? Where does it say it in this top sentence? Have a good read. Pause the video here if you need some time to read it. Well done, Morris class. It was because he explains that there aren't any. Bob explains patiently. Oh, wow, that's like riding a wave. Oh, that's even worse. There you go. Bob explains patiently that there aren't any aliens. So that's how we know as the reader that Bob doesn't believe that aliens exist because he's explaining to all of the tourists there aren't any aliens. Okay, let's read the last question for our comprehension lesson today. Which 2 of these does Bob sell to tourists? Which 2 of these, so we've got 4 options, does Bob sell to tourists? So let's read the last sentence in our text and let's answer the question. Afterwards, Bob opens a small souvenir stand selling postcards, pencils, mugs, and small plastic moon models. So he sells these 4 things. Afterwards, Bob opens a small souvenir stand selling postcards, pencils, mugs, and small plastic moon models. Now let's see, out of these 4 options, which one is it? Pause the video here and have a really good think. Okay, let's check the answer. The first one is moon models and mugs. Hang on, so let's have a look. He definitely sells plastic moon models, because I can see that over here, right? Now, does it say stamps? No. Does it say pens? No, it says pencils, but a pencil and a pen are completely different, so it's not that one. And he does sell mugs. Fantastic. Mugs and plastic moon models. Well done, Morris class, for completing your comprehension lesson with me. So again, you don't have to upload anything onto Tapestry for this lesson because we've gone through the answers together. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been a lovely lesson and a useful lesson for you. Please do have a lovely weekend, rest up, recharge your batteries to get ready for next week's lessons, and I will see you then. Take care, Morris. Bye.